Okay, so I know I said that I wasn't going to buy any more books. Um, but then I went for a drive with a friend and um, books happened. So yeah, I went to a secondhand shop down the Cape with a friend. Um, and I got some more books because I apparently cannot be stopped. So, these are the books that I got. I went to a store called Parnassus Book Service Inc. I think there's an Inc at the end. Um, it is a big bookshop that has been around since the 1950s, I believe. And yeah, they have books on a big shelf outside under this covered porch. They have books upon books inside. The place is just has the most wonderful smell. Um, and they're just, like I said, wall to wall books. They are separated by genre, of course. And yeah, there's just books on shelves, and there's books piled on the floor, and there's books piled on other shelves, and it is just, it's crazy and it's wonderful, and I fucking love that store. That is probably one of my top bookstores I've ever been in. But yeah, so couldn't resist. So I ended up getting some more books. So I went into the store with the goal of I was only going to come out with maybe one or two first or early edition Nancy Drews, because that's kind of what I've been having my mind on. My um older Nancy Drews that I have came from the store the last time I went there. So that's basically all I was going to do, was just get vintage Nancy Drew, which I got. Um, I was good. I only got two, and I only got the ones that I don't have. I didn't pick up a copy of one that I already had. So I grabbed number 22, The Clue in the Crumbling Wall, and number 44, The Clue in the Crossword Cipher. I also have not ever read either of these, so that's also pretty cool and exciting. Um, and then I was making my way along, and right by the children's section where those are, I found there's like a New England um area. There's like a big heavy focus on the Cape because it's the bookshop's in Cape Cod, so there's like a lot of books about the Cape, and then it goes by states. And um I have a fascination with Vermont since I grew up there, and I kind of miss living there. And I found an interesting book. It is called Contrary Country. It is apparently a chronicle of Vermont. It's by Ralph Meeting Hill. I have never heard of him before. I've never heard of this book before, but kind of what sold me on it was Vermonters are chemically unable to endorse the popular view. Um, what it didn't say was because they're really stubborn and occasionally uh, curmudgeonly. I don't know. That's how I feel. Anyway, so yeah, this covers ornery folk and fascinating folklore. So there's like stuff about the people who founded Dartmouth College, and someone who fought to admit women in schools, why Calvin Coolidge was so fucking quiet all the time. There's like um, dead people who were not dead, weird religions, fight sports, eccentric people, and stuff like that. I don't know. That kind of sold me, so I thought that's quirky and interesting and weird, and yeah, I'm down with that. And then going along, I found some Agatha Christie, and this is like a good, what is it? The Bantam, I think, collection. Let me see. Bantam books, yeah. And this is like a fancier like collection. I think this has all of her books in this type because I've seen them in a library before like this, and I usually don't go for these, but these were the Agatha Christie's that I found. And this has The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, which I have been meaning to read, so grab that. And then I was looking through some of the stacks piled on the floor, and I found this on the bottom. It is this very pretty, complete short story collection of Mark Twain. I read Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn in high school, and I've been meaning for a while to read some of his short stories, but never got around to it. So when I found this, I was like, okay, I'm down with that. Let's check out some more. And while I was trying to get a hold of this book fell on me, and if you can see the details on it, it's like super duper gorgeous. Like it's just really pretty. And this is The Wrong Box. It is a book by Robert Louis Stevenson and let me see, Lloyd Osborne, which I believe was his son-in-law. He wrote like 3 books with him. This is a copy from 1905, so I'm trying to be like super duper careful with it. But basically it's nice because the type is like so big for like an old book. I like that. But basically I looked it up because I mean it's a beautiful book, but I can't let myself buy something just because it's beautiful. I need to know what's inside of it. But this is apparently a dark comedy, and I'm about dark comedies. I like them on occasion, so I figured, you know what? Let's check this out. And then my friend was looking at the nonfiction like history section and everything because we'd seen that they had a copy of the Federalist Papers, which is, so you know the part in Hamilton, nonstop, I believe, when it's talking about the essays that James Madison, John Jay, and Alexander Hamilton wrote to defend the Constitution, and how like John Jay wrote 5 and got super sick, and James Madison wrote like, oh god, what did he write? 20 something. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot. But he wrote like 20 something, and he like gave up. And Hamilton wrote 51 other essays. That's the Federalist Papers. So we saw they had a copy, so we were kind of looking around to see if it was still there. And in the course of looking through Revolutionary stuff, she found that they had this particular bad boy, which comes with its own sleeve, which is kind of cool. And these are the complete writings of Benjamin Franklin. And I have a thing for Benjamin Franklin. Not like, a thing. But I have a thing for Benjamin Franklin because I know he was a dirty, dirty old man. But he was also pretty funny and interesting, and this really eccentric inventor and just complete weirdo. I mean, if I remember correctly, the man used to think that standing in front of open windows completely naked was like good for his humors or something like that. Don't quote me on that. I swear to God, I think I read it somewhere once, but it just, yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. So these are his complete writings, and it's like everything he ever wrote, from Boston and London, Philadelphia, London, Paris, Philadelphia again, like Poor Richard's Almanac, which was this, I believe, thing he came out with for a while, and then his autobiography and stuff. So I'm pretty interested in this because he is a very eccentric person, and I know some stuff about him, but I don't know like a ton about him. And I haven't really read much of his writing at all, so pretty interested in knowing more. And then the last book I picked up was over by the kids section again. I was just kind of doing some last minute perusing and found this really pretty copy of Just So Stories by Rudyard Kipling. And I honestly have not really read much Rudyard Kipling. I think he did the Ricky Tikki Tavi, I believe he wrote that. And if that's the case, then that is like the only thing I've ever read by him. I mean, I've seen the Jungle Book in its many incarnations. Um, but I've never actually sat down and read the book. But after having read the Graveyard Book, which Neil Gaiman based off of the Jungle Book, I kind of figured, you know what, maybe I'll check out Rudyard Kipling at some point and see how his stories are. So these are, yeah, it's Just So Stories for Little Children, and it's like legends, like how the whale got his throat, how the camel got his hump, sing song of Old Man Kangaroo, how the first letter was written, stuff like that. So I don't really know what to expect because, like I said, I've never read any Rudyard Kipling. I just know that, yeah, Ricky Tikki Tavi, and he wrote Jungle Book. So, we shall see. But yeah, so those were the books that I ended up picking up at the store, and it was a lot of fun. I posted pictures from it on Instagram. The picture from the inside of the store my friend actually took because she remembered to take pictures, because as soon as I stepped inside, I got very overwhelmed and overexcited, so I completely forgot to take any pictures whatsoever inside, even though I definitely meant to take a lot more. But yeah, but still, it was fun. It was nice to be in an actual store that wasn't like trying to breeze through the grocery store as fast as possible. It was nice to just kind of be in there, and we had masks on. Other people that were in there had masks on, and there weren't really that many people in there at all. When we first got in, there was like 2 or 3, and everybody was good about keeping their distance. And yeah, after a while, I think we were like the only ones in there, which was fine too. Um, but yeah, so it's a good trip out. Nice to be in a bookstore again. But yeah, so those were more books that I got when I said I wasn't going to get any more. Ah, all right. For real though, I'm gonna try to curb this book buying habit because like I said, I'm already officially at capacity, and now I don't know where I'm gonna put these. So yeah. Uh-oh. All right. I will see y'all in the next video. I hope that you are all staying safe and sane out there, and yeah, bye.